morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Thursday, June 1st, 2017. If you want to follow us on Twitter, please go to CATEX TV. Well, today at 3 p.m. at the White House, in a typical Hollywood production, Donald Trump is going to announce whether he's going to pull the United States out of the Paris Climate Accord Treaty. Indications in the media are that, in fact, he will do just that. European Union leaders and China vowed earlier today that they're going to push forward with the Paris Agreement. If the U.S. pulls out, they'll be one of three countries, the United States, Nicaragua, and Syria, who are not in the agreement. The United States will then be subject to countermeasures, penalties, tariffs, and trade punitive measures as a result of being a brigand or outlaw nation in terms of climate change. The EU and Chinese leaders have banded together in an unusual alliance. According to the EU Commissioner of Climate Action, China and the EU are joining forces to forge ahead on the implementation of the Paris Agreement and accelerate the global transition to clean energy. So the United States will be far behind on clean energy engineering and clean energy change. The EU Securities and Markets Regulator has warned its 27-member national financial regulators against companies hoping to set up thinly veiled so-called brass plaque entities in their countries as a result of Brexit. What they're aiming at are UK insurers and reinsurers who are domiciling separate subsidiaries in the EU in the hopes of maintaining passport rights if Britain actually formally loses the passport rights as part of their exit from the European Union. In an advisory statement, the regulators warned that local regulators should reject any relocation request creating letterbox entities, and they would be required to have that company perform substantially all of its activities within that country. The effects of Cyclone Mora in Bangladesh and eastern India continue. It's possible that as many as 150 fishermen may have been lost. The Bangladesh Navy and the Indian Navy are picking up survivors. Several dozen have been rescued already, but apparently as many as 150 fishermen are still missing. In Florida, as we come up to the June 1 renewals today, a depressing picture emerges. At this time last year, the Insurance Insider reported that reinsurance premium rate reductions had pretty much coalesced into the 2.5% to 5% band insofar as decreases. People had hoped that they would stabilize or perhaps even begin to go up. That's not the case. According to evidence collected by the Insider, buyers have been able to achieve reductions averaging between 5 and 7.5%, with some examples closer to double digits. One senior underwriting source reported that rates were off 5% on marginal accounts, with higher quality cedents achieving even greater reductions. This is not good news, although much of this, of course, is property cat business, which is the area that has been infused with tremendous ILS funds. In Wisconsin, in a little town just north of Madison, Wisconsin, an explosion occurred at an ethanol plant operated by a company called Didion Milling. It's a corn processing plant. The four-story structure that housed the ethanol part of the operation was apparently completely leveled by the blast. At least one person has been killed, 2 others are unaccounted for, and 11 people are missing. And that corruption scandal in Brazil, in addition to causing massive headaches for Brazilian President Michel Temer, as well as countless demonstrations across the country, are now beginning to have some substantial financial effects on the world's largest meatpacking company, JBS, which is at the center of the scandal. JBS has agreed to pay a record $3.2 billion fine for its role in the corruption scandal. The payments will start in December and will have 25 years to run, so they'll pay the $3.2 billion off over 25 years. If you want to learn more about the Brazilian scandal, just go to Google. It's quite a long and convoluted process, and Brazilian protests continue to try to remove President Temer from office. The world awaits the news from the White House at 3 p.m. today regarding the American decision, and we'll have it for you tomorrow. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you then.